46, Giovanni Kim. Sunshine 53 is our forecast from Channel 12 Eyewitness News meteorologist Tony Petrarca. It's 45 outside right now. All right, we're changing things up just a little bit right now. Dr. Dennehy is here from Rhode Island Hospital, and she is here to answer some questions that folks have posted on our Facebook page about the H1N1 virus. Good morning, Dr. Dennehy.
Good morning.
So everybody wants to know about the vaccine, of course. Let's start though with the virus itself. How prevalent is it already here? We've already heard about the death of a few students, which is so tragic, but how prevalent is the virus here in Rhode Island?
It is just growing by leaps and bounds, so it's really hard to say. Yesterday we saw 180 children in our emergency room. Last week we were seeing about 50. So
what are the symptoms we're looking for?
The symptoms are basically cough, sore throat, fever.
And they can start as little as that, and then what happens after that?
Yeah, how do you know when it's time to say, all right, I got to get somebody to the hospital or doctor?
Right, those are things that are basically things parents can quickly observe. A child who's having difficulty breathing, whose lips look blue, who's dehydrated, not urinating, who's irritable and or sleepy and not able to be waked up.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, if a parent feels their child is, and parents are the best judge, they're just worried about their child, they should have their child checked out.
Okay.
All right, let's talk about the vaccine. People are concerned because they've heard mercury is in the vaccine. They're worried about giving it to their child. Of course, there's also talk of vaccinations causing autism. What's your thought on that?
Vaccinations do not cause autism. The mercury that's in the shots is very tiny amount, and it's in there because they're multi-dose vials to keep the vials from getting contaminated. Basically, there are some mercury-free vaccines, but they are in very short supply, and there is no worry. There's more mercury in a can of tuna fish than there is in vaccine.
And some people want to know, okay, the schools are offering them. The pediatricians might not have them in time. Is there any difference? Does it matter where I get the flu shot or where my child does?
Basically, the way the state has set things up, school-age children will be receiving their vaccine at school, and kids who are too young to be in school are receiving it at their pediatricians, so parents should follow that.
Is it just kids that should get this, or should folks our age, or where do you draw the line?
Especially if you're around kids, your parents, what's the order?
The order is pregnant women are at the highest risk. They're first.
Okay.
Young children, older children, children and adults who have underlying diseases that would cause them to have complications from influenza, and then finally healthy adults.
Okay.
And the elderly are actually at the end of the line for this one because they have some protection probably from a virus they saw a long time ago.
Yeah, like 30 years ago or something.
Yeah.
Someone, speaking of that, someone said, if I'm not eligible as a healthy adult until January, but everyone else is getting them now, should I even bother in January because I've already been exposed?
Well, this virus is not going away. Probably what we'll see is that we'll see a big wave of disease, but that doesn't mean it's not going to come back again, maybe even later in the spring, because we certainly saw spring, fall this year. We may see spring disease again, so I think it's very wise to get vaccine when it's available for you.
Okay.
All right, how about keeping kids home from school? If you know a child in your kid's class has the flu, should you keep your own child out or keep sending them to school?
Well, that family who has the child with the flu should be keeping their child home so as not to expose other children.
Okay.
All right. Any more questions? We got them all. Dr. Dennehy has
other
obligations.
I think we have them all. My only last question is the shot versus the nasal spray. I've heard different things. I've heard that there's a rule, like you can only get the nasal spray if you're 2 to 5 years old. Otherwise, you have to get the shot. Is there a difference? Is there an age limit?
It's not an age limit. It's the state developing some policy where they actually put the shots are going to be given to the school kids because that's the easiest way to do things, because then they don't have to screen for whether children have underlying disease.
Oh, okay.
And then the mist will be in the doctor's office for the younger kids.
Okay, because they have to be screened.
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you
Thank you, Dr. Dennehy. We have videotaped this interview and we'll post it on our website or our Facebook page in a little bit. We'll tell you where to find it after.
And we also have other information at ProFM, 92profm.com, keyword flu.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Dennehy. Thank you for giving your time today.
Thank you very much.
It's 7:40.